A top 10 matchup is brewing in Stegman Coliseum as number 6 Arkansas comes to Athens to challenge the number 10 Georgia Gym Dogs. Courtney Lyle alongside 9-time NCAA champion Bridget Sloan, and Arkansas brings with them Kennedy Hambrick, who had 3 9.9s last week.
This is an athlete who has just been so impressive to watch, and she gets better and better each year. She's only a junior and has solidified her spot in an all-around. And moving over to Georgia, Megan Roberts, she was the first alternate to the Canadian Olympic team in 2016. She is bringing that international experience to the NCAA in 2019 SEC all-freshman team. Very, very impressive. And last season competed vault, bars, and floor very consistently for the Gym Dogs.
She will bring that experience to the vault and bars lineup for Georgia tonight, and it will be Roberts in the anchor position for Georgia as we take a look at Georgia's vault lineup. Rachel Bauman will lead things off.
And Rachel is so good in this position. Leading off on any event is important, but getting that momentum on vault is so crucial, especially with it being the first event of the night.
She struggled on this event last week, but she is a junior with a lot of experience and able to rebound quickly.
And a Yurchenko full, pretty big hop you saw, and a step. Gonna be a little bit of a deduction there, but great amplitude off the vault. Nice high Yurchenko full, very clean, but could not control that landing. That's a 9.95 start value. Would love to see her control that landing for the next couple weeks.
Arkansas will start on the bars. They had a season high on this event last week against Florida. It will be Bailey Lovett to start them off. She's led off the last 2 weeks, and last week she had a season high, a 9.85.
Bailey is so impressive on every event she competes in. She's just fun to watch, and uneven bars, she flies. Nice cast handstand. Little close on that release. You saw her bend her arms, but recovers very well. And a nice cast handstand. Blindfold into an open double tuck and gets the stuck landing. Very, very nice start for Arkansas, and a nice job by Bailey. She lets go a little early, and you see she's really close to that bar, has to bend her arms, but recovers nicely and finishes with a very nice double tuck dismount and gets that stuck landing.
So Rachel Bauman, a 9.675. That will be a score that they look to drop. Remember, 6 athletes can compete, and they'll take the best 5 scores. Haley DeYoung is up next, competing in the all-around tonight.
And she had a 9.775 last week. Another Yurchenko full. Really nice job. So far, they're getting great amplitude off the vault. They're going high, they're getting away from it, but would love to see a stuck landing. Nice control. Tries to flare it out. You saw her arms open up just a little bit right there. Looks for that landing. Just a small hop. Really nice job.
Those landings are something that Courtney Kupets-Carter and this group are working on, specifically on vault this week. That was their focus coming into this meet. Still waiting on Bailey Lovett's score, but that brings us to Kiara Johnfania, the sophomore out of Indiana. She's had a couple of appearances on bars, was able to tie her career high in their second meet against LSU. Remember, this Arkansas team opened with back-to-back meets against LSU.
Very, very tough schedule. And when we're on uneven bars, the judges are looking for handstands to be in that vertical position, releases. You want to see these athletes fly high and get right back to that bar, and landings. Of course, everyone loves a stuck landing. And can I just mention, Kiara's from Brownsburg, Indiana. I am from Pittsboro, Indiana. Our towns are right next to each other.
Oh, wow.
Just a little fun fact for you. And she had a 9.85 last week. has been really consistent. Nice release, transitions to the low bar. A little short on that cast handstand. Would love to see her on top of that high bar. But another stuck landing. Sticks are contagious. I know I've said it before, and I hopefully can say it a lot more tonight. But this final cast handstand, she was a little bit short. Judges are definitely going to take a deduction there. But
we want to welcome you into Athens, Georgia for a top 10 matchup to round out our Friday night heights this evening. Number 6, Arkansas, traveling to Stegeman Coliseum to face Georgia. The Gym Dogs on the vault right now. This is this is Amanda Cashman for Georgia. If you are watching us on SEC Network alternate channel, make sure you flip over to the SEC Network. Our coverage will continue there. Arkansas over on the bars, they're coming off of their 3rd highest team score in program history last week. Courtney Lyle and Bridget Sloan with you. This Arkansas team comes to Georgia with so much talent and feeling pretty good after last week.
absolutely, and that's the one thing I hope that they can keep that momentum going. It seems like they had a really tough couple meets in the very beginning of this season, up against LSU back-to-back and then against Florida. So they know how to compete against the number 1 and 2 teams in the NCAA right now and just keep that momentum. The confidence that they get from every single competition is so crucial in the beginning of season.
So Arkansas has scored a 9.75 and a 9.
And
a nice 7.75.
And so far, this bar routine has been very clean. A little bit over the bar on that blind full, but a nice clean set. Keeping that confidence up, but really over. You saw she had to get that hand on quick. Controls the landing on her double tuck. Overall, a nice bar routine.
Over on the vault, Georgia has gone 9-8 back-to-back. This is Rachel Lucas. We didn't see her in the opening meet because she was coming off of that broken finger, but we'll see her a couple of times tonight.
And Rachel has the ability to put up a big score here. She's got a lot of power in this vault. And a nice clean Yurchenko full. You see a lot of these Georgia athletes, they have these beautiful Yurchenko fulls but cannot get that landing and are having to take a hop. Really clean, just a slight pike down makes her take that hop backwards.
This is how our meet will work tonight. We'll see 6 gymnasts compete, but remember, you only count the best 5 scorers, so that gives them a chance to drop 1 score.
And after all 4 apparatuses, the team with the highest cumulative score will win. The home team tonight, being the Georgia Gym Dogs, will start on vault, go to bars, beam, and end on floor. In Arkansas, the away team starts on bars, goes to vault, floor, and will end on balance beam.
We're having a little trouble with the bars scores tonight, but we'll get them to you as quickly as possible. You see, we already have Rachel Lucas's score on vault, a 9.825 for Lucas. That ties her season high.
And when the judges are taking their time, which they definitely do, this is when an athlete can really get in the zone. And Sarah Schaefer knows exactly what the zone feels like. She is a veteran for this Arkansas team. Look at her lines from her toe point all the way to her shoulder extension. I mean, she is almost textbook perfect in her execution. Just a slight hop on that dismount, a very nice double layout by Sarah Schaefer. But that bar routine, and watch, she's gonna go from the low bar up to the high bar. And then she went right back down to the low bar, but a beautiful double layout, controlled landing, just a slight hop.
We will see Sarah Schaefer in the all-around tonight for Arkansas. Back over to the vault. This is Abby Ward, had only competed on vault before this season, but we've seen her on a couple of other events this year for Georgia.
And she has a very unique vault. You see a lot of round-off back handspring entries. This is a souk full and a nice controlled landing. In warm-up, she actually had a gorgeous souk full that she stuck and pikes her hips just a little bit, has to take that hop backwards, but wow.
Well, Sunday at 3, 12-3 Alabama squares off against number 4 South Carolina, who is first in the SEC. Then number 22 Georgia in College Station to take on Texas A&M. All games right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Hey, we got to give a shout out to the Arkansas women's basketball team who defeated UConn. They upset the number 3 team in the nation. Their first win over UConn, their second top 5 win of the season. The Arkansas gymnastics team hoping they can pick up a top 10 win tonight. This will be Kennedy Hambrick coming up next on the bars.
And Kennedy is a strong all-around athlete. I know I talked about it already, but she impresses me every single week. Has really been working on the details. Very nice release right down to the low bar. Aggressive on her cast handstand, holds her handstands, and gets that stuck landing. That is a true competitor right there, and she has just been amazing all season. Does her huge pike Jaeger right down to the low bar in her bail, and then tops it off. Beautiful dismount, gets that stuck landing.
That's a huge routine for Arkansas. They have yet to go 9-8 on this event tonight. Back over to the vault, Megan Roberts in the anchor spot. Abby Ward had a 9.825.
And this is the only 10-0 start value for Georgia, with a Yurchenko 1.5 here. Just a slight hop on the landing. Would love to see her clean up her legs a little bit in the twist. You saw them come apart and they were just a little bit bent. But that is a blind landing, so she has no idea. She cannot see the ground. She has to base it totally off of her air sense. Does a really nice job.
Courtney Kupets-Carter and the coaching staff really focused on those landings on vault this week. What did you think about their lineup?
I loved how controlled they were. I would love to see them open up their hips a little more, make that straight line from their feet all the way to their shoulders, and then they can get the stick. As soon as you start piking down, you're gonna end up traveling backwards. So really, really nice job overall, but would love to see them open up their hips in those vaults.
Well, here's some good news for Arkansas. Kennedy Hambrick, a 9.85, their highest score of the night on bars, and Maggie O'Hara, the transfer, is going to anchor this event.
And she has beautiful lines. She is just a joy to watch on uneven bars. She floats in the air. She is a transfer from Michigan, takes that Big Ten experience over to the SEC. And just a slight hop on that dismount. She kind of flared open a little bit early. Had to end up taking a step forward. But wow.
We do want to let you know, Megan Roberts, a career high 9.9 on the vault. But Maggie O'Hara anchoring Arkansas on the bars. The Razorbacks will move over to the vault. Georgia will move over to the bars when you come back to Athens. One rotation down, Georgia leads the meet very early on here in Athens after a career high from Megan Roberts in the anchor spot. on vault. We're so excited to be with you for this match, Courtney Lyle and Bridget Sloan. And both of these coaches have taken over these programs and really revitalized them. And they come in with so much experience as gymnasts themselves.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Courtney Kupets-Carter and Jordan Weber have incredible resumes themselves as athletes. And it's amazing to see what they've done to these teams. I mean, their stats speak for themselves.
Yeah, first year rankings when they both came in were 12th, and you can see the progression that they've made. Currently both top 10 programs in the nation. For Arkansas, they thrive on beam and floor. They are third in the nation on both of those events.
And those are two tough events to be so high in the rankings. I mean, they're mentally tough, they're physically tough, and they just do these events with such ease. They make it look easy. They make it look like you could get up there and do it, and they have fun doing it. There's so much that goes into it, and Arkansas just does a great job of capitalizing on the enjoyment of competing.
We're about to see Georgia head over to the bars, and they are great on this event. They had 3 season highs last week.
And another great cause for Georgia. They are clean, they have nice lines, and they stick those landings. And that's what you want to do here. You want to capitalize on what you're amazing at, and Georgia just thrives on uneven bars.
And we will get to see Haley DeYoung compete on the bars. Georgia will move over to bars. Arkansas will take over the vault. Rotation 2 coming up from Stegman Coliseum in just a moment. After one rotation, so exciting because we have so many teams in the SEC that are in the top 15 in the nation. That means you get to see some of the best gymnastics teams compete on Friday nights here on the SEC network. We have 2 of them here. Arkansas and Georgia both in the top 10. Arkansas had a huge score last week, a 197.25. Usually you feel like that might win you the meet, but unfortunately they were going against Florida, who's number 1.
And that just goes to show you, it is a tough, being in the SEC is tough, but being in the top 10 in the NCAA is so important.
Yeah, after one rotation, Georgia and Courtney Kupets-Carter in the lead. We did see a career high from Megan Roberts on vault. What a way to end that vault rotation for Georgia.
Very, very impressive. And Megan, again, talking about, she is an international athlete coming into the NCAA. It is just so cool for her.
Arkansas, it is now their turn to go on vault. They've matched their season high the last 2 weeks on this event. Savannah Panizzi will lead off, just a sophomore. You notice just one senior in this vault lineup for Arkansas.
And that is something really cool about Arkansas. They have a lot of depth from their freshman class all the way through to their seniors. And changing these lineups is going to be crucial in the beginning of season and getting those solidified spots where you know an athlete can hit.
Yeah, Arkansas was fortunate to have 10 athletes returning to their program, but they have 6 newcomers, and 4 of those are freshmen.
Coming on to a new team, it can be very eye-opening, so.
Here's Panizzi.
A little lacking of the amplitude. You saw her take a hop forward. She really kind of lost the rotation. That was a Yurchenko full. Almost tried to flare it a little too much. Would love to see just get a little more amplitude, but very, very clean. A nice start.
Georgia on the bars, and Amanda Cashman, the sophomore, will lead off. Remember, she tore her Achilles after just 6 meets last season, and with the shutdown, really had to do a lot of that rehab on her own over the summer.
Gymnasts are almost a different breed. I mean, when they are determined and have a goal in mind, they will do anything to make that goal come true. And Amanda getting back into a lineup for Georgia was so important. And she's doing a nice job. That was a Tkachev, a little low. Would love to see her get a little bit higher over the bar. But she put in the work, and it is showing tonight. Fights for that landing and gets the stick. Really nice job. Her lines from her toes all the way to her hands, just totally open. Has a little bit of leg separation. Hopefully the judges won't see from their angle, and gets the stuck landing.
Savannah Panizzi had a 9.675. Arkansas will look to drop that. This is Abby Johnston. The transfer, we mentioned there are 2 transfers. She started her career at Nebraska.
And it's always tough being a transfer or a freshman, but Jordan said they have just done an amazing job. And wow, that was a gorgeous Yurchenko full. And I love that they have the mask on the stick, like, don't forget. But a huge vault, and just her feet are glued when they hit that mat. I love the excitement on her face. You see assistant coach Chris Brooks is really excited. That is incredible.
It's just so nice that Jordan Weber has been able to work these transfers in, and she said after 2 weeks, it felt like they had been there the whole time.
They just make themselves right at home, which is exactly what you want to see.
Back over on bars, Amanda Cashman had a 9.65 to lead off. So now Emily Shield will step up next, has battled injuries throughout her career. You see that big brace on her leg, but she had a season high last week, a 9.8 on bars.
She just needs to be clean here. Watching her in warm-up, she has really nice toe point. A little over on that cast handstand. Gets it back to her release. Little short on that bail. She wants to be in that handstand position, in that vertical. And just the dismount. She really struggled with this dismount in warm-ups. But not there. Wow. Really excited for her. She is very excited. You see it on her face. But she's a little over. You see her feet, and really has to fight it back. Her feet were a little over the bar. And a nice double layout. Again, she really struggled with that in warm-ups, but brought it for the competition time.
And that's why you warm up, right?
Exactly.
Abby Johnston tied her career high with a 9.825. That's why she had that big reaction. Next up is a freshman of Birmingham, Alabama, Jordan Olszewski.
A very nice vault. Would have loved to. You saw her shoulders were in front of her body, meaning she didn't have the rotation to get that stuck landing. Just a slight hop.
Well, Sunday at 7 Eastern, we'll have our latest episode of True South with John T. Edge traveling around Phoenix City, Alabama, eating half weenies at the 14th Street Grill and checking out jerk fried chicken at Rose's Caribbean in Columbus, Georgia. True South presented by Yellowwood. Emily Shield on bars with a 9.7. Remember, they're trying to drop the 9.65 that came from leadoff spot. This is Rachel Bauman.
This is a new lineup spot for Rachel. She did the all-around for the first time last week, adding uneven bars to her resume. And that is a 5/10 deduction right there.
She'll have 45 seconds to regroup here and get back up and finish her routine.
And you see she is on top of the bar. This is a Jaeger. And it looks like her hands just did not quite get over the top of the bar. She wasn't able to grab that bar with her dowels of the grips, which is the really small part of your grip up top.
It's just amazing to see her on this event. Remember, as you said, just the first time competing bars, and she had a plate removed from her arm in the off season, so it's building up the strength in her arm too.
Building up strength and building up confidence is so important, and I can't stress it enough, the confidence. And mistakes are gonna happen, and she is over on that cast handstand. Just needs to get it back and get this dismount. You see Not the bar routine she wanted tonight. It's really tough mentally when you have a fall. It totally throws off. I mean, it throws off the whole routine, but mentally you're going and everything's good. And then when you have to get that fall, you got to get it right back really quick.
Remember, that is only her second time in her career competing on bars as a junior. They'll look to drop that score. Let's go back over to the vault. Sarah Schaefer getting set for Arkansas following a 9.75.
And Sarah is going to do a Yurchenko half. And that is a stuck landing, gets those heels together. Wow. That was a gorgeous vault. I love the body position. There is no pike, keeps those hips open. That is a blind landing, so testing that air sense. And she just gets those heels together and gets that stuck landing.
We were talking before the meet. Sarah Schaefer, I mean, she has looked so good this year. Looks in great shape, has competed so well for Arkansas.
And it shows in her, the way she practices, just the way she warms up. I mean, you can tell she is out there having the time of her life.
We already have Sarah Schaefer's score on vault, a 9.875. Georgia will look to drop Rachel Bauman's score. This is Haley DeYoung. This is good that she's next, though, following a fall. She has gone over 9.8 every meet this season.
And she just needs to do her job. As a gymnast, when you have to go right after a fall, you can't think about it. You can't think about what just happened. You really just have to be in the moment. And right now, Haley's job is just to do what she warmed up, and she looked great in the warm-up.
This is an event where Georgia had 3 season highs set last week. They've struggled in their first 3 athletes, though, competing tonight.
And gymnastics is one of those sports. Anything can happen. You can have the meet of your life the weekend before, and then the next weekend, you know, if you're just a little bit off. So keeping that momentum, keeping the energy is really important here, especially with the limited crowd. They're in front of a home crowd, very limited. So you see Haley kind of doing a little dance. She is just trying to keep it loose.
Only 1,600 people allowed inside Stegman Coliseum for gymnastics this year, so you're really relying on your teammates to help you bring that energy and keep it up.
Absolutely. Teammates, and just bring the energy yourself. As a competitor, when you're standing up on that mat getting ready, bring that energy. She's going to start things off with her release a little close there. You saw her bend her arms on her catch. She's a little bit rushed here. She's not quite getting on top of the bar for her cast handstands. Just little deductions here and there. But a very nice double layout. She floats in her double layout, and they are beautiful every single time. And she lets go really early there, has to really crunch her arms. But a beautiful double layout and gets the stick.
So Amanda Elswick is next, and this is really special because it was last year against Georgia that she returned from injury and won the vault title.
She did it once, she can do it again. Just a slight hop on the landing, but Arkansas is really emphasizing on form in these vaults. From their hip extension, this is a Yurchenko full. Really nice job, just a slight pike down at the end. You see right there, if I'm being really, really picky, it was a little bit of a pike down, just a small hop, but that's a 9.95 start value.
Still waiting on Haley DeYoung's score. I thought it was really interesting. Jordan Weber was talking to us about what they did on Sunday. As a team, they sat down and watched their meet from Friday. And she said, I wanted to get that positive feedback, any type of feedback, from their teammates, where maybe it's just you tap your teammate on the shoulder, hey, I really liked the move you did there, or you executed that really well. And that gives you some confidence moving forward.
Absolutely. It means a lot when a teammate tells you good job.
This is Megan Roberts.
Megan did great on vault, taking that momentum to bars. So far, so good. Really clean. They really need to be clean and get a hit bar routine here.
She's following a 9.85.
Just a slight hop on the landing, a little short on some of her cast handstands. The judges definitely are catching every short cast handstand tonight. But transitions up to the high, right to the low bar. And a very nice double layout dismount. Just a slight hop there.
Arkansas on vault has 3.98 plus so far. This is Kennedy Hambrick. She has a vault title already this season.
And this is going to be another Yurchenko full. So a round off back handspring entry. Oh, excuse me, a 1.5. That is a 10.0 start value. I saw her do fulls in warm-up, but I love a good surprise. Really clean here. Slight leg bend, had to absorb that landing a little bit more than she would have liked, but 10.0 start value.
Well, Sunday at 3, Alabama squares off against the top team in the SEC. That would be South Carolina. Then Georgia looking to rebound after they were upset yesterday facing number 8 Texas A&M. You can see it right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Megan Roberts, a 9.85. This is Victoria Nguyen, who is back in the lineup. She's been dealing with an injury.
And Victoria has a very impressive bar routine. In her release right here, a ginger in between the bars. Very difficult. And a nice double layout. You know, Georgia is really doing a good job of sticking these landings and having these gorgeous double layout dismounts. And Victoria brings the difficulty right there. A ginger in between the bars. And a nice double layout, but really rough on those handstands.
Well, coming up, we mentioned Arkansas has 2 transfers. Maggie O'Hara sits down with Bridget when you come back.
So let's just get right to it. How has the transition been from Michigan to now Arkansas?
It's been pretty incredible, honestly. I could not have expected a smoother transition. It's very different, but it's been so eye-opening and it's been such a healthy transition.
I mean, being a student athlete, that's a full-time job. And being a graduate student is a full-time job. How are you balancing that?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm in an exercise science master's program, so it's very specific and it's a lot cooler than undergrad in that like everything that we do is up to another level. But it's really just about planning out your days and how you want to organize where you want to do your school time. You know, we practice in the mornings, which is really, really nice because we can kind of get our gymnastics out of the way on the front end, and then I can totally focus my second half of the day on school.
So what is something a little on the unique side that you are doing in your gymnastics routine this season?
So this season is the first time I'm not competing a sidereal 1.5 dismount on beam. I've decided to play it a little safer and just do a full, but I added a cat leap before so that I could have my difficulty, you know. And I do a little bit of a different beam routine. I do a sidereal back handspring as my series, which is fairly uncommon.
What is it like competing in the SEC?
It's thrilling. It's honestly so exciting. Like, I'm sure you know because you've been there, but the fans are different and the atmosphere is just so, like, people just love gymnastics in the SEC, and you can tell like the fans just are so excited to be here. And even though we have a limited number of fans, like you can still feel their energy down on the floor, and it's just been so fun.
We we will get to see Maggie O'Hara in the final rotation on beam. But first, Arkansas will head to the floor. Georgia will take the beam. Rotation 3 coming up. Two rotations, done. Top 10 matchup here in Athens. Georgia and Arkansas. It was Georgia leading after that first rotation. Now Arkansas has jumped in front. Georgia struggled a little bit during their bars lineup, Bridget.
They had a lot of mistakes there, and they were just, you could tell that every athlete after a mistake wasn't quite in the zone. They were rushing their bar routines, hitting their handstands instead of being that vertical position a little bit short, just giving away those tenths. And right now is when they really need to just remember, take a deep breath, transition over to balance beam, and do what they know how to do.
Well, this is their best event. They are ranked 3rd on the balance beam in the nation. It will be Michaela McGee leading them off. She's been their leadoff for the last few years, so hopefully this is a spot where Georgia can regroup.
And being a leadoff on balance beam, I almost sound like a broken record. Being a leadoff is so important, but on balance beam, this is an event, it is 4 inches wide, and if you are just a little bit off, you're gonna end up off that beam, and your leadoff on beam should almost be a guaranteed hit. They are setting the tone, setting the momentum for the rest of the lineup. And a nice triple series there. You saw back handspring, layout, step out. She really struggled with that in warm-up. Saw her repeat it quite a couple times and was off the beam, but she's a gamer and she knows when she's needed to hit, and right now Georgia's going to need some big scores on balance beam.
She was on this event every meet last year, has the experience.
And a nice stuck round off 1.5 dismount. Wow, really, really nice start. And this is a triple series here, so 3 elements, back handspring into a layout step out. If she is just a little bit off on one of those back handsprings, totally off the beam, and finishes with a very clean 1.5 dismount.
Arkansas goes over to floor. Abby Johnston will be up first. I think this is incredible. Only 4 appearances on floor last season for Nebraska, and here she is. She has led off every meet on floor.
Very, very impressive. And you know, last week she had a 9.875, and I think this week is a great opportunity and a great week to get that 9.9. Very controlled double tuck. And talking about being a transfer, it's tough enough when you come in as a freshman, but when you're already a junior and transferring from another school, it could be a really big adjustment, and she has just done a beautiful job of being welcomed onto the Arkansas team and really made an impact so far.
Yeah, it might have helped too. She has a teammate from American Twisters, Jensen Scalzo, who is on Arkansas too, so at least she had one familiar face when she joined the program.
Absolutely, it definitely helps. Nice dynamic leaps. And we've talked about floor exercise is the event where you really get to let your personality shine and come out in a beautiful double pipe. That was a stuck landing, gets right to that lunge. What an impressive start for Arkansas. Wow. What I love about all of her tumbling is the control. She does a double tuck, has those arms in front, gets right to that lunge, and she finishes this incredible floor routine with a double pike, gets that landing, and just is so controlled. Beautiful job.
Katie Finnegan made her first appearance last week on beam, a 9.75. She's following a 9.875, a season high from Michaela McGee.
A nice handspring layout step out. If you watch her finishes all the way to her fingertips, she finishes each movement just a very sharp, very aggressive athlete. She might be new in this beam lineup, but she's doing a really nice job so far. Very clean, nice artistry.
Just a freshman for Georgia.
And a 1.5, just a small hop on the landing, but Georgia did not have the bar rotation they wanted, but they are getting it back here on balance beam. A very clean routine for Katie.
These are the two rotations that Arkansas is so good at, beam and floor. They are both third in the nation on both of these events. Madison Hickey up next, following a 9.875 by Abby Johnston.
And Madison had a 9.8 last week. Nice double pike. I'm just gonna say Arkansas is controlling their landing so well. She actually had a lot of power on that pass, but is an experienced athlete, gets right to her finish.
She was an alternate on this event last year. Had that season high 9.8 last week.
Nice 1.5 into layout. You're gonna see a lot of athletes tonight actually dance out of their tumbling passes. Beautiful artistry that keeps the movements going, but it also can cover up if you're a little bit off balance or a little off center. Cover it up with some dance. You're gonna see a lot of that tonight from these two teams. Final pass, nice job. You saw her get straight to that lunge. Really nice job. And when I talk about getting right to her lunge on this first pass, double pike, she actually has a little bit more energy, but you saw her throw her arms back and gets to that lunge. And the same thing on this double tuck. Just straight to her finish, making sure those judges cannot take any deductions.
Great start for Arkansas on floor. Georgia, a career high, a 9.825 from Katie Finnegan. This is Soraya Hawthorne. She is the one that does the moonwalk, carrying on the tradition for Georgia on the beam.
And that is a tradition I remember athletes doing the moonwalk, thinking, are y'all just doing the moonwalk up there? And sure enough, of course, it's tradition.
Taking over for Sabrina Vega, who did it last season.
And a nice front toss into her beat jump. And right there, the moonwalk. As a Georgia athlete, if you are nominated or chosen to do the moonwalk, that's gotta feel pretty cool. And a nice 1.5. Georgia is really getting this momentum back. Would love to see them stick these dismounts, a slight hop. But right here, that's gotta be hard. I mean, the moonwalk is hard on a flat surface, let alone on 4 inches. And you see a nice 1.5, just a hop on the landing.
Can you do the moonwalk at all, Bridget? I can do it on the floor.
I sure can. Kind of.
I've never been on a balance beam, so haven't tested it, but challenge accepted. This is Sarah Schaefer following 2 career highs for Arkansas on floor.
They're ranked 3rd in the nation on floor, and you're seeing why right here. They're controlled on their landings. They tumble so high. The height is there, and just the control is so impressive.
I love too when they're coming up with the choreography, they decide what character they're going to be for this event.
And I love that too, and you get to kind of be whoever you want to be, and that is what is so fun about floor exercise. These athletes are really, they're performing. I mean, they are getting out on stage and giving these judges and the crowd a true performance. And all their choreography is actually done by assistant coach Caitlin Orrell. And she was a volunteer assistant and got brought up just recently. And I love when I see a volunteer assistant get put in that assistant coaching position. It's so cool to watch and see that. And that is a stuck double tuck. I love the reaction of head coach Jordan Weaver and assistant coach Chris Brooks behind. I mean, the energy is just being brought by Arkansas tonight. Huge double pike, opens it up, gets that landing, and then finishes with a nice double tuck. Gets right to that lunge. Wow.
You would never know she had shoulder surgery back in the spring. I mean, Sarah Schaefer has just been so committed to getting back, and she looks fantastic. Soraya Hawthorne, a career high for her. That's back-to-back career highs. She had a 9.875. This is Haley DeYoung.
And Haley had a career high last week with a 9.925. And when we talked to head coach Courtney Kupets-Carter, she said she was just so proud of her. She knew she could do it. Courtney said she has been working her tail off in the gym, and she just needed the confidence. And she had it last weekend, and she's bringing it this weekend so far. Very, very nice job.
Well, when you saw the score from Sarah Schaefer, a 9.925, that's a career high for her.
And that was a handspring layout step out for Haley, and her feet were very close together. Could have been a disaster, but fights for that landing, stays right on top of the beam. Shoulders over hips over heels. Just a hop on the landing, but really nice job. She had a 9.925 last week. A few minor balance checks, but watch this series. Handspring layout, step out. That front foot is dangerously close to coming off the beam, but gets it right back. Fights for that landing, ends up taking a slight hop forward. Needed a little more rotation to get that stuck landing.
Okay, I've been waiting for this one all night, I must admit, because Bailey Lovett gets sky high on these tumbling passes. It is so impressive.
Me too. I have been waiting for this floor routine right here. Huge double layout. You talk about flying, and what I love, when she's running into her passes, she looks so relaxed. Like if I was doing that, I would look like I was running for my life. But just so relaxed, and she just has so much fun on this event. And you see that dance, she did a double stag half right out of her pass. She is coming after a career high for Sarah Schaefer. She's set up for a big score here. One more pass here. Nice double tuck. Again, she was really over-rotated, gets right to that finish, avoids any type of deduction. This is an experience, and it's just a mature Arkansas team here. And this first pass, just a nice, easy run, and then huge double layout. Just an incredible job for Bailey.
And we do want to clarify, Sarah Schaefer's career high is a 9.95, so she got a 9.925. That is still an outstanding score. Here's Rachel Bauman.
Rachel did not have the bar rotation she wanted. Ended up coming off the uneven bars. So this is redemption. This is an event she is so good at. Side aerial into a layout step out. That is a very, very difficult combination. Has to keep those hips right over the top of the beam the whole time. She's actually struggled a little bit on this event. Head coach Courtney Kupets-Carter said she just really needs to get the numbers in the gym and build that confidence, because Courtney knows she can do amazing things on this event. And that is a stuck round off 1.5 twist. Amazing job for Rachel. But right here, a side aerial into a layout step out. She has to keep her hips so square, because one minor movement could take her off the beam, and then fights for that stuck landing and gets it.
And remember, that's a junior being asked to compete in the all-around for the first time this season. So, wow, props to Rachel. Kennedy Hambrick here, tied for 10th in the nation on this event. She's gone 9.9 plus every week.
Very explosive double tuck there. Had a little too much energy, a little too much power. I can't say I know what that's like, but it must be cool. Very fun routine.
She's following a 9.9 from Bailey Lovett.
One thing I have to say, Arkansas has actually spread out their entire team around the whole floor. And it is like they are in their own little bubble on this apparatus, bringing the energy. We talk about how engaging a crowd is so important. Being the away team is really hard, but with these crowds being so limited, you got to bring the energy.
And bringing the energy socially distanced. Pretty
exactly,
smart.
Even harder. Wow, really, really nice floor exercise for Kennedy Hambrick. She had a 9.9 last week, and she is only a junior. I love that. We get another year of her amazing gymnastics. Wow.
Arkansas is crushing it on floor tonight. Rachel Bauman, a season high, a 9.9, and now really excited to see Marissa Oakley back on the balance beam. She's beautiful on this event, has not done the beam the last 2 weeks, dealing with an injury.
As a senior, she is soaking up every moment, and bars is really her event. But again, you said dealing with these little injuries, they have to be smart. It's all about being smart in the regular season, and especially early on, to make sure they are good to go for the rest of season in a very impressive gainer back handspring layout step out. Slight balance check there. That was a very difficult ring jump. She actually loses sight of the beam, gets it right back. Really nice job from Marissa, and this is the only time tonight we will see her compete in this series here. Gainer back handspring layout step out. Just floats, and then this is a huge gainer full off the side. Really nice job.
Kennedy Hambrick had a 9.85. Sophia Carter ranked 9th in the nation, 9.925 twice on floor.
And one thing that Sophia does better than anybody is her toe point. And you see it in her tumbling. I mean, it's amazing. Nice stuck double tuck. But her toe point and her execution it's just enhanced. I mean, you see these athletes doing amazing execution, and then you have Sophia Carter, who takes it to another level.
Do you mean like that?
Just like that. And I love that her smile at the end of each tumbling pass is so contagious. Last pass. So far, this has been a beautiful floor routine. And that is a stuck double pike. Wow.
Oh,
wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up Arkansas's floor with Sophia Carter.
And this last pass, I mean, huge double pike. Normally they would go right to a lunge, sticks it. Amazing job.
Here in Athens, Arkansas on top. They will be on beam. Georgia will head to the floor. What a performance we saw on floor from Sarah Schaefer. A season high of 9.925.
I mean, it was incredible to watch. I love that she has such great air awareness. She knows exactly where she is when she's in the air, gets right to those finishes. She is a true competitor and just has done an amazing job this entire evening. Wow.
Competing in the all-around tonight, so we will see her on the beam. Georgia led after that first rotation, but Arkansas took over starting on the second rotation because we saw Georgia really struggle on the bars lineup, but Sarah Schaefer cannot be ignored. A season-high 9.925 for her. So now we will see Arkansas move over to the beam, and they're just as good on beam as they are on floor. Third in the nation, just like on floor.
And this is a great spot to be in. They have a good lead against Georgia right now, and Georgia is on floor. This is a great event for Georgia, but Arkansas right now just needs to take a big deep breath, which you just saw, and just do their job. I mean, they are excellent on this event, and balance beam is a make or break event for most teams.
Chiara Gianfagna will lead off. Arkansas had a season high last week against Florida on beam. They've had 3 different leadoffs, but Gianfagna, this is her second time now.
And being in the leadoff position is so crucial, and having multiple options, that's great for head coach Jordyn Wieber. She's got a lot of depth on this event. A nice handspring layout, step out. And Kiara had a foot injury. You see that right ankle is taped, and it was really a little bit challenging almost to ease her back into it, kind of hold her back and make sure that she's doing the proper steps to be as healthy as possible. And that was a cat leap into a front toss, and it looked like she just totally missed that right foot. Has to get right back on the balance beam and finish this routine.
Arkansas will look to drop this score. We'll see 6 athletes compete. They can drop one of those.
Really nice beam routine for Kiara up until that fall. And we talked about depth earlier. Arkansas can get it back, but you see that right foot just completely misses the beam, and there is no saving it. But an impressive job. She got right back up there and finished that routine really strong.
The Gem Dogs on floor now. They are 8th in the nation on floor. Alyssa Perez-Lagones will lead off one of the best combos of personality, dance, and tumbling that Georgia has in its lineup.
And it looks like we have a mix in the music. Little technical difficulties over there.
She has a lot of experience on this event, was a leadoff on floor last season. I think everybody on the team knows all of her dance moves in this routine too. It's really fun.
This is you said it right there. This is a fun routine. You talk about someone who loves to perform and dance. It is Alyssa. And a stuck double pike. Now she can really get into this floor routine. She had a 9.825 last week. And this is where she just has a blast out there. Her facial expressions to the artistry. I mean, she has so much fun.
And what an athlete to lead off with and set the tone for Georgia.
And you see her teammates, they know the dance. Final pass, double tuck. Wow. No deduction there, gets right to that lunge. That is an amazing start for Georgia. Wow. And you see her teammates. They know the dance. No worries, they got it. Just a huge double tuck to end that routine. That was an incredible start.
That'll get you fired up and ready to go. Bailey Lovett now, very unique mount move here on the beam.
And she is coming after a fall, so Bailey is gonna get that momentum back here, and she does a great job on balance beam, is very composed, really calm on this event.
We've seen her on a couple of different events now, including floor, and it's just incredible she can do what she does with that brace on her elbow.
It's just kind of part of her competition look, and I can imagine she's so used to it, but it really doesn't affect her on anything. And very aggressive layout, step out. You saw her arms go right to that finishing position.
Yeah, remember, she doesn't use her hands on this beam routine.
And a side aerial, back full, stuck landing. Way to get it right back on track. Leave it to Bailey. And this mount, very unique, very, very difficult. Back handspring up to the beam. And a nice side aerial into a stuck layout full. Wow, great job.
Checking in on our all-arounders as Haley DeYoung gets set to go. Kennedy Hambrick in front right now. We did get a career high, tying her career high, Alyssa Perez Lagones with a 9.875.
Well, that means Haley is set up for a big score here, and she's done a great job this whole night. And they rested her last week on floor exercise, so she was ready to get it back out there this week. 1.5 front layout.
Oh, and Bailey Lovett's score just came across, a 9.925.
Haley's last pass here. A little bit too much power there, but under-rotated. So opened up a little bit too early and had to take a hop backwards. Very clean. Would love to see some controlled landings for Haley, but overall a nice clean set.
Well, Sunday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, we'll have our latest episode of True South with John T. Edge. He's traveling around Phoenix City, Alabama. Also checking out Columbus, Georgia. True South, presented by Yellowwood. So we told you, Bailey Lovett, that career high, a 9.925. This is Maggie O'Hara, and I have been really excited for this beam routine because she does wield a lightsaber during it.
And I think it was just right there.
I'll take it.
Maggie is a transfer from Michigan, a graduate student. So she is in grad school and also a student athlete, which is an incredible, that is amazing to me that she is doing both. And when I interviewed her, she handled it like, well, yeah, that's just what I do. I have practice in the morning, school in the afternoon. And I mean, she loves to compete, and I love that her transition to Arkansas was so smooth. She just seemed so happy competing out there tonight.
And Jordan Weber told us, I mean, the girls already go to her for advice because she is one of the older athletes. And I mean, even though this is her first year with the team, they look to her for that leadership.
And that's one of those things you can't teach leadership. These athletes, they either have it or they don't, and Maggie clearly has it. And her teammates notice. And a cat leap side aerial, back full, fights for that stuck landing, ends up taking a hop forward, a little more rotation, and I think she would have had that stick. In her series, a side aerial, back handspring, again, keeping your hip square in that series is so important. And a cat leap side aerial, back full. She wanted that stick so bad, but ended up taking a slight hop forward.
Here's Rachel Lucas on floor for Georgia. Haley DeYoung had a 9.825.
And seeing Rachel compete on floor tonight is really, really nice. She had 3 months off and then ended up hurting her finger, had to take another couple months off, so she is getting back in the lineup in a huge double layout.
Yeah, first time we've seen her this season on floor.
when talking to head coach Courtney Kupets-Carter, she even mentioned the more she does, the more she moves, the better she feels. And getting out there in this competition setting is really important for Rachel and her confidence. Just the final pass. So far, this has been a really clean floor exercise. I'm not sure I would call that a stuck double pike, but it was very clean. Would love to see her get right to that lunge so that those judges cannot take off any deduction, but so refreshing to see her competing again on floor exercise. Starts it with a really nice, a little messy in her legs on that double layout, but very high and great control. And right here, you saw her take that hop and then she kind of raises her leg. So we'll see what the judges take off. Get right to that lunge where those judges can't take anything off.
Well, following her huge score on floor, that 9.925, Sarah Schaefer in her final event tonight here on beam.
If I had to describe Sarah as an athlete, mature is one of the first things that pops into my head. I mean, when she competes, she has such poise in everything she does.
Just needs a 9.775 on this event to take the all-around lead.
Just a slight balance check at the end of that handspring layout. So far, the only deduction that I have seen was on that series. Very clean full turn. Cat leap, side aerial into a back full. Nice control on that dismount, but just Arkansas is being so clean in everything they do this whole night. And a handspring layout step out here. Slight balance check, gets it right back. And a cat leap, side aerial into a back full. I love that she is so experienced in competing. She gets those heels together as soon as she can to get that stick.
Rachel Lucas had a 9.85. Amanda Cashman will step in now. Had a 9.875 added to the lineup last week.
And that was a short landing on her double pike. Needs to dig deep here. She's got to get that energy back, get that momentum.
You see her teammates right there talking to her in the corner.
Nice clean second pass, 1.5 into a front layout. Watching Amanda warm up, she really has these amazing tumbling passes, but it's almost like the confidence isn't quite there yet. Like she's doubting herself just a little bit. And you saw in that first pass, she doubted just enough where ended up falling, but not on that last pass. A nice solid double tuck.
Well, Sunday at 3, we've got some women's basketball for you. Top-ranked South Carolina in the SEC, at least they're 4th in the nation. They'll take on Alabama, and then Georgia looking to bounce back against Texas A&M. Both games right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So Sarah Schaefer got a 9.8. She's currently in the all-around lead right now. This is Sophia Carter on the balance beam for Arkansas. And remember, she holds the Arkansas record on this event.
Sophia is very elegant on beam, and she really struggled in warm-ups with that handspring layout, but not during competition time. A nice jump series, beat jump into a double stag. I talked about her toe point on floor, and you see it here on balance beam. It's just emphasized here, and just her dance, the artistry. She doesn't stop moving. And she had a 9.825 last week. She's capable of a big score on this event. And that is a stuck landing side aerial into her back full. Really nice job. A lot of side aerial back fulls from this Arkansas team, but they do them so well. Very clean, knows where that ground is, and gets the stuck landing.
Georgia is looking to drop Amanda Cashman's score of the 9.275. Soraya Hawthorne is up next. This is a Prince routine. Get ready. This whole Georgia lineup is so fun.
They have so much fun on this event, and that is what you love to see. These athletes are so focused. Nice high double pike. I definitely wish we were in the arena dancing to this right now.
I'm dancing, just not in the arena right now.
And a nice second pass. I love her smile at the end of every pass.
Great music transition.
I said earlier, these athletes are so focused, but on floor, they can just let loose and have the time of their life. I mean, it's a dance party. Final pass. A lot of energy she brings to her tumbling, and so much energy to her dance. Really, really nice job. She might need to do a double layout first pass, if I'm being honest. She's got so much power. And you talk about having fun. I love it. Finishes with a really nice, clean double tuck. A little too much power. She actually hopped backwards. But overall, really nice job.
Sarah Schaefer is in the all-around lead right now, but Kendi Hambrick can win the all-around title with a 9.8.
She had a 9.9 last week. Very nice handspring layout. Step out. She gets such height on her series. One thing that Arkansas has really done a great job of tonight is fighting for every 10th. Even when they're a little bit off, you see those toes clench the sides of the beam, and you see them just get right to their finishes. This is a team that is very, very talented, and I think they're finally realizing that they have that talent.
Yeah, Jordan Weber told us last week against Arkansas, they saw, against Florida, they saw what they could do. They started to realize that.
I mean, every team in the SEC is capable of amazing things, but Arkansas especially has really put the work in, and it's showing. But watch how high she gets. Handspring, layout, step out. I mean, the rotation she gets, she is so upright, and then a nice cartwheel gainer full, and gets the stuck landing. Really nice job.
Final routine of the night comes from Rachel Bauman. Soraya Hawthorne had a 9-8 on floor for Georgia.
Rachel is a very experienced, she's just such a mature athlete. She did not have the bar rotation that she wanted, but watching her on balance beam and now on floor, you would have never known that she had any type of mistake. And that doesn't come easy. I mean, you really got to be able to bounce back and get right back to it. And a little too much power there. She did a huge Arabian double front. Could have actually done a front tuck out of that. And we talk about getting it right back. She's got the rest of this floor routine to finish.
Well, Bridget, we just got Kennedy Hambrick score a 9.925. That means Arkansas has won this meet, and she has won the all-around.
And a little low on that second pass, step out of bounds. Not quite the floor routine she wanted, but it is so early in the season. In this first pass, this is a huge Arabian double front. And I mean, she just has way too much power and ends up, she should have just done a front tuck out of it. I mean, wow.
Well, Kennedy Hambrick putting an exclamation point on Arkansas's beam lineup with a 9.925. She wins the all-around. Arkansas wins the meet. We will wrap things up from Athens in just a moment. What an ending for Arkansas on the road. The Razorbacks get the win over number 10 Georgia tonight in Athens. Just a fun meet to watch. Courtney Lyle and Bridget Sloan back with you, but how good was Arkansas in those final two rotations on floor and beam?
I mean, they weren't just given the number 3 in the nation on floor and beam. They earned it, and you saw that tonight from their dance to their artistry on floor and just the tumbling that they did. They know that they are good, and you can see it, and I love that they know that.
Kennedy Hambrick was the one that won the all-around, and she ended this meet on beam with a huge score, a 9.925 for the all-around title.
Just an incredible athlete. I mean, she really brings it every single meet, and she just gets better and better. So I can only imagine. We are very early on in the season, so both teams have a little bit that they can take home to work on, but overall, this was a solid performance.
Now, Jordan Weaver should be very happy with her Arkansas Razorback crew to come on the road and finish this meet the way that they did. Arkansas gets the win, putting up a 196.875. They take down number 10 Georgia. 6th ranked Arkansas with a win tonight in Athens.